50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, good to be back in your life, everyone. Welcome to a brand new edition of the Dream Wage, episode 372 on this gloomy, rainy Wednesday, March the 6th, 2024. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock. Joining me is our NBA guru, my partner in crime, Elvis Acosta. Awful day today, kid, huh?
Yeah, the ugly day, for us in New Jersey. Been working all day outside, so kind of sucked, but didn't really get too wet, so that was good, Dill. So we've just been chilling, cruising along. But yeah, the weather sucks. Shout out my boy Angel. Happy birthday to my boy Angel. Shout out Cuddy. And Dill, you got a loaded slate for tonight, so let's get into it, man.
Yeah, I got a great show for you guys today. You know, like we discussed, the NFL and combine season, their teams are releasing players, they're signing players, they're putting the tags on players. So we'll discuss all that. Busy day the past couple days in the NFL, I'll say that. So we'll break down everything there. Like Elvis said, we got a huge slate in the NBA, 8 games on the docket. And then we'll continue our preview of the MLB. We're on the last division in the AL, the AL West. Stacked heavy on top, but not so much on the bottom. You got the defending champs, the Texas Rangers. Obviously, Houston Astros are always good. Seattle Mariners are a very sneaky team. We'll talk about them. The Angels, how they how they're going to mitigate the loss of Shohei Ohtani. And then obviously one of the worst teams, the Oakland Athletics. But Elvis, let's start. I mean, today, we could start with just today in the last, 30, 40 minutes before we went on. The Bills got busy releasing players. They released Naheem Hines, running back, return specialist, and wide receiver Deontay Hardy, center Mitch Morse, Pro Bowl corner Tre'Davious White, Pro Bowler safety Jordan Poyer, and another safety Sagir Neal. They freed about $25.95 million. They're going to receive an additional $10.2 million in June. So they've cleared about 35 to 36 million. Now they're just $4 million over the cap, still over the cap, but they took a nice chunk out of it. Do you see them, maybe re-signing some of them on discounts, or what do you make of the Bills? Because, we talked about that with CT last year. Like, this might be their window to win now, but they owe a lot of people a lot of money, and, them releasing, it's not guaranteed that they're going to come back to Buffalo. What do you make of the Bills releasing a lot of these players?
So at the end of the day, it's a business. So you got to work the cap there. You got to get under the cap. And what's the best way to do that easily is to release some people that's kind of past their primes, like Poyer, a little past his prime. Tre'Davious White, who's, like a Pro Bowl corner deal, but at the end of the day, these past 2 seasons, how much time has he been on the field? Not much.
Yeah.
So you're not really getting a good return for your buck there. So I see them just clearing out, a lot of money. At the end of the day, I still think they got to rework Von Miller's contract. Maybe even talk to Josh Allen. Josh Allen getting a buttload of money, who hasn't still delivered on that big thing yet, So I just feel like Von Miller contract needs to get worked out a little bit, create a little more cap there, and they'll be just fine. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit with Josh Allen. At the end of the day, they'll see, they could work the draft. To me, I'll try to keep Tre'Davious White. I think he's still one of the best corners in the league when healthy. That's a big win. But at the end of the day, they can at least hit him with the, we taking care of you. We have faith in you. It's just we need you a little discount. Mm-hmm. That's all. So they definitely need to work out just to keep at least a few of those players. The center. They could probably just mix somebody in, if not somebody in free agency, on they probably have their mind on, or even in the draft. They were just a month and a half away from the NFL.
50
draft.
days from the NFL draft today.
Ooh, that sounds good, Dale. So we're just 50 days from the NFL draft. They probably got their eye on heavy on these young guys. That's probably a nice center somewhere, a nice safety, and multiple corners they're eyeing on. So it might be a loaded draft at those skill positions. So they'll, at the end of the day, they got to work the cap, and it's the easiest way to do it. At the end of the day, it's a business.
Yeah, it is a business. I agree. I think some of them will stay, maybe at a little lower of a rate, but some are going to go. I think the wide receiver Deontay Hardy, I think he might go. Running back Naheem Hines, I think they'll find home somewhere else. They're good enough to be in the league, but they are making a little bit of money right now. More roster news about 10 minutes ago. Philadelphia Eagles are releasing cornerback Avante Maddox after 6 seasons with the team. He had a 9.6 million salary cap for this upcoming season, but apparently, according to Adam Schefter, the two sides are continuing to talk and they're open to a reunion, but not at that price. He's a very good cornerback. I know the defense kind of took a hit in the second half of the season, but he is another big name for that defense that I feel like they need to keep.
Yeah, Joe, another one. They got to keep him at a better price because at the end of the day, you got to go by what you saw last season. Last season wasn't a very good defense, especially in the secondary for the Philadelphia Eagles. So if I'm the Eagles, I'm looking at them like, yo, we need you at a discounted price. If not, we're gonna build something through the draft or sign somebody else at a discounted rate. Because at the end of the day, I seen them. They also released Michael Bard or whatever, or Baird. I always forget his name.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't
The
know his
safety they
name.
traded for from Tennessee. They released him as
Oh, yeah,
well.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, they
they're
did.
gonna need multiple skill positions in that back secondary. At the end of the day, from what I saw last season, Dill, I kind of want to just rebuild it all together. So if I'm the Eagles front office, I'm not too anxious to get a long term deal done either way. Honestly.
Yeah. And then let's talk about some of the guys that actually got tagged. We talked about Lajavius Sneed, the probably a top 5 corner. I mean, he's
Top three.
fantastic. He might be top 3. The season he had with the Chiefs this season, they put the tag on him. They are open to trading him for the right price, but they did tag him this for this season. Are you surprised?
No, Dill, because at the end of the day, they have the rights to him. They could just
Yeah.
boom use the tag. That's basically the cheapest deal they could get. Kind of it's fully guaranteed for the player, so he doesn't really mind it at the end of the day. But we both know, Dill, this is not the best way to negotiate. Just hit him with a tag. He wants that long term deal done. He wants that security on the back end, especially after honestly being the top corner for a Super Bowl winning team.
Yeah,
He was
100%.
literally a shut down corner for the Super Bowl winning team. So the kid was gonna get paid in the open market. You know that. I know that. People listening know that. Kansas City knows that. So that's why they hit him with the tag right away. So smart move by Kansas City. I just he deserves to get paid.
Do you think he could get traded?
At the end of the day, if
They
I'm
said for the
Kansas City,
right price. Like I
Dale, if I'm
mean,
Kansas City,
yeah.
Fred Price is a first and some talent.
Yeah, it has to. They have to get a first round for
They
Snead.
gotta get a
They
first round.
have.
That's a top 5 corner, top 3.
Yeah.
In some people's eyes.
Yeah, I agree. I forgot to say this. I should have stayed on the Eagles, but man, what a career! Jason Kelsey officially announces his retirement after 13 seasons. I mean, we kind of got a glimpse and we kind of heard rumblings around it, but he had a press conference about 2 days ago, I think on Monday. It's official. One of the best centers to ever do it, in my opinion. Not a Philly fan, but I gotta respect him. I mean, he's the way he held himself. A 6th-round pick, one of the best 6th-round picks besides, Antonio Brown and Tom Brady. But, one of the best centers to ever do. He was a 6-time first-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler. He's a Super Bowl champ, the Super Bowl speech, and the guy fucking loves to drink beer. I mean, he's an absolute legend. He's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. I'm glad he went out on top.
Yeah, definitely a Hall of Famer in my eyes in the future. Like you said, to me, one of the most iconic moments in Jason Kelsey career is that Super Bowl speech. I watched it
Yeah.
multiple times, honestly. If listeners out there, if you never saw,
You
it's
got to
about
go watch it.
like a 7 minute speech probably. It's amazing. Like
Yeah.
it'll get you fired up, and it's coming from the soul. So tremendous career by Jason Kelsey. We know his brother Travis Kelsey. Those man, what he was able to do for Philadelphia, and then what he was able to help Travis do. Side note, though, I saw this thing about when
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey was getting drafted, and like the Cowboys passed on him, a couple teams passed on him, and Andy Reid called him up, and before he drafted him, he was like, "Put your brother on the phone," and he spoke to Jason. I was like, "Yo, what type of play I'm gonna get from your brother? Am I gonna get the bullshitter in college, or I'm gonna get the person we saw his senior year?" So, still, it just shows that he always had faith in the brother, and he's a great
Yeah.
brother first, and also a great football player.
100%. And you saw the emotion coming out of Jason and Travis. Travis was front row for his brother's press conference. They're thick as thieves, those two. And Andy Reid took a shot on Travis, and he banked on it. One of the best tight ends ever. But yeah, Jason, 193 NFL games played, 13 seasons, all with the Philadelphia Eagles. This is not a stretch, Elvis. He might be one of the greatest Eagles of all time. And I'm not even overreacting. He has to be.
Yeah, he definitely has to be. At the end, he was part of something special, and what we call that special play, the Philly special. Though he was there,
100%.
He was a part. He snapped the ball.
and that I'm glad you brought that up, because I don't know if the Phillies, not the Philly special, but the tush push, is that going to be as effective now without Jason Kelce? I mean, they're still going to run it, but that's a good question.
That's a fact. He mastered it. Clearly, we saw some of these other teams started working it in, but no other team kind of perfected it the way the Eagles had.
No. Yeah, it should be very interesting. I thought that was a very interesting take. You got amazing Eagles, Rondell Cunningham, Donovan McNabb, Reggie White, Brian Westbrook, Brian Dawkins, but Jason Kelce has to be up there. I mean, what he did for as long as he did it and the way he did it just speaks not just the type of player, but like you said, the type of person he is as well. So wanted to give Jason Kelce his flowers on a great NFL career. We talked about last episode about Mike Evans and, him negotiating a deal. I was so hopeful for 2 days, but the Buccaneers and Mike Evans reached an agreement, 2 years, $52 million, 35 guaranteed. Mike Evans has a real chance to, start and finish his career in Tampa. He was projected as one of the top free agents or wide receiver free agents available. Not anymore. He is locked in for 2 more years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, and they also, I will say this because, it is Buccaneers. They also franchise tagged Antoine Winfield Jr., their safety. But, what's going to happen here with Baker Mayfield, because they just get him, they placed the tag, which they're still trying to get a deal done. Antoine Winfield Jr., he's a first, he was selected. He's a stud. He was selected. He was a first team All-Pro the past season after he had 6 sacks. He had 3 interceptions. He also forced a league leading 6 fumbles. He was the highest graded safety in PFF in 2013. He's a top 5. He was arguably the best safety last season. It was good that they tagged him. They re-signed Mike Evans. Now Baker's next. It has to be.
Yeah, I see. There's no way you give the Mike Evans deal done if you don't have a plan of, getting Baker and Mike Evans in the same building. I think we saw the connection they had from the get-go. This is some people say this is one of Mike Evans' best career years, this past season. He had a great season. We saw what he was able to do down the stretch, especially in the playoff game, the one they won at home. And at the end of the day, I don't think you get this deal done if you're not really trying to sign Baker. I think the Buccaneers definitely trying to sign Baker for at least a long term, at the bare minimum, 2-year deal to pair him up with Mike Evans, because we saw how that was successful. At the end of the day, let's just be honest, it's still a weak division, which Tampa Bay could possibly run away with once again, and possibly for another year or two, Dill. So it wouldn't make no sense to me bringing back Mike Evans at such a high number if he wasn't planning on bringing in Baker back as well.
Yeah, and I think the biggest news about 2 days ago, the Broncos notified quarterback Russell Wilson that he will be released. Who do we feel more bad for? The Broncos for giving up everything, or just Russell Wilson just not being a good quarterback anymore? I mean, I'm going to call it like it is. The last 2 seasons have been awful. Now, he is an above average quarterback. He's a Super Bowl winning champion.
He's still a starter. He's
a starter, yes, but he's past his prime. And I think this might go down as one of the worst trades in NFL history.
Still, it might be the worst trade in NFL history. I'll give you that. I honestly will agree with that. Might be, especially in recent history, just because the value of it and the money wise. At the end of the day,
oh my God,
Russ made over $100 million. He played 2 seasons. He got over 100. Like that's called
finesse.
That's finesse. Like, he really got him. Gotta respect that. His agent hit it out the ballpark. But at the end of the day, it's a shame, that it ended like this. Such it was ugly at the end of the day. But let's just be honest: is Russell Wilson still top 20-ish quarterback? Absolutely. I Dill, is there a teams out there where Russell Wilson can lead them to the playoffs? Absolutely, Dill. If you put Russell Wilson on the Steelers right now, they're a playoff team. I'll even give him a shot. I'll give him a long shot, Dill. With that defense, two-headed monster at the running back position. Well, not monster, but two-headed. You got two good running backs there. Top 5 defense. Where Russ gets you 20 points a game. Steelers are contenders.
It just doesn't, and I know that's one of the teams he's linked to, but that just doesn't sound like a Steeler move to go out and do
No, I
that.
understand. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Certain spots, you could do something with Russ.
Yeah.
Another team, Dan Quinn, head coach of Commanders. Russ was a quarterback in Seattle. Maybe he goes to Washington, works something out there. Atlanta, Atlanta. I guarantee you, Russ goes to Atlanta. Atlanta's live for the division. Atlanta might be minus money to win the division.
And we don't know about Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, what he's going to end up doing. I do think he winds up staying in Minnesota.
I think he resigns. I think they got injured there. They like he's still. If I'm Kirk, I'm not about to leave one of the best wide receivers in football in his prime. In his prime, I'm trying.
But imagine making $85 million sitting on the couch. And granted, I know he will probably get a job and he will start next season, but I mean, he just got cut for $85 million.
No, he's getting $39 million this season.
Oh my God.
He's already locked in $39 million. Locked in. So a team could be like, bro, Russ. Like, that's what I'm saying. It won't be much. Pittsburgh, Atlanta. Hey, even the Patriots, I'll take Russ.
I think it all depends. Yeah, and all those teams that you mentioned, Washington, even you guys, New England, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, it even Las Vegas. Like, let's not hold out Las Vegas as well. It all depends on what they want to do come the next 50 days and what they want to do in the draft. And if I'm Washington, you got a prime pick. Maybe you want to build with Russ.
No, for example, if I'm Washington, right, I can't trade up to number 1 or I can't land Caleb Williams. I'm signing Russ for a veteran minimum number, something like a 1 year, $15-20 million deal, maybe even $10 million deal. He's already getting 39. Come on, Russ. You're already getting 39. Give us a break. And you bring in, a young quarterback who's not Caleb Williams. And if you don't want him to start right away, let him develop behind Russell Wilson, who's a seasonal vet who will at least guide him, give him the ropes. I think they Russ. Yes, though he's past his prime, but I think that this guy 5 years ago in his prime was one of the best quarterbacks in football.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Let's just be.
I don't know.
He's past his prime. At the end of the day, he can't. He still can get out the pocket there. But what made Russ great? What made Russ let Russ cook was those extended plays, throwing the ball downfield, running out the pocket. There, he just simply doesn't have the speed to get away as he used to. These DNs are running at the combine 4.4.
Yeah. I know it's insane. They're just getting faster and faster.
Russ doesn't run a 4.4, Dill.
No, not anymore. Everything that I've been hearing through the combine and GMs talking to reporters and insiders, we've all said, I think they should personally take the chance on Justin Fields, but it looks like they are going to go Caleb Williams. So I'd imagine Justin Fields getting dealt within the next week or two. You got to imagine they're going to move fast on it and try to get one of the best quarterbacks that we've seen in the draft in a very long time in Caleb Williams. That's everything that I've been hearing. So we will see. It'd be very interesting to see what they end up doing. Ravens, they placed their franchise tag on defensive tackle Justin Madubuike. Mabuki, 13 sacks this past season, the most by a Raven player in 9 years. He also tied an NFL record by recording at least a half a sack in 11 consecutive games. I mean, the guy's an absolute stud. Every time I've been to a Raven game this past season, all the fans are like, we're tagging him. We need to keep him. He's a fucking stud up front, kid. What do you think?
To me, it's great for the Ravens just because they'll have to give Lamar his massive contract, signing a couple players as well. They can't I'm not saying they can't afford it. What I'm saying, they can't get this deal done this year.
Yeah.
Maybe exactly. Next year when the cap goes up once again, they could give him a long-term done. At the end of the day, yes, I understand he doesn't get that long term security, but he's gonna get a lovely number for his
Yeah.
next year of service, and then maybe with the upcoming following season, with the cap goes up just a little bit, they could get a 4 or 5 year done,
Hmm.
4 or 5 year done contract at a reasonable number. Or hey, if he goes another 13, 14 sacks, he'll be one of the highest paid.
Bears, they're placing their franchise tag on cornerback Jalen Johnson, who the team they're trying to work out a long-term deal, but they just couldn't get to the number. They're still working on it, but just as a precautionary, they did tag him. If he does play under the tag, he's making $19.8 million, which almost $20 million. He is one of their best corners, and I think it is prevalent that they do need to keep him. What do you think there?
At the end of the day, like I said, you got to keep these, these good players. You got to keep them.
Yeah.
Like you said, some reason you can't get a deal done, get them with the tag. At the end of the day, like I said, these players, they gonna like the number, but they just want that back end security. They want that 4 or 5 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, they get a nice number, and the team's still trying to work out a deal. It's just they couldn't get, to the X. They couldn't complete, to the X's and O's. So they're gonna hopefully they get a long term deal done, because I think he's gonna develop to be one of the best corners in football.
Your team, Patriots, they placed their transition tag on safety Kyle Duggar. Thoughts on him?
He's all right.
He's okay. That's what I was gonna say. He's okay.
Yeah, like, is he worth the tag? That's what I'm saying. How much is the tag on him?
Yeah, I gotta see what the tag is, but let me do that real quick.
Because if it's more than like 10, at the end, is it better to keep him than to let him go? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, to me, it doesn't move the needle. It doesn't move the needle.
Well, they gave me everything instead of just saying safety. So hold up. So safeties, they're making under the tag. They are making 16.25.
Damn. All right. So
I mean, it's up from last year. Last year they made under the tag 14.4. It's gonna continue to go up.
This kid should be a stud then. They got more faith in him. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, if you're making that.
If you're making that, you come on now.
One guy that definitely should have been tagged, and I honestly selfishly wish he would have hit the open market. Colts wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. He had a career high 109 receptions, 1,152 yards this past season, and which is crazy enough, he had a different starting quarterback in each of his 4 years in Indianapolis, and he's still putting up these numbers. I think I thought he was going to be a top 5 free agent in the wide receiver market, but fortunately, the Colts are keeping him smartly by them, though.
Great move by the Colts. Still, like you said, he has a different quarterback every year, still putting up these numbers. Shout out Gardner Minshew, because my man almost got a bag from Gardner Minshew. So hey. Hopefully the Colts give him the security, get him a long-term deal moving forward, because at the end of the day, Michael Pittman Jr. is a true number one at the wide receiver position. So I guarantee if they don't sign him this next coming season, there's going to be a team out there who's willing to give that man a lot of money.
So the guys that did get tagged, Baltimore Ravens, like I said, Justin Matabuki, Carolina Panthers, Brian Burns. He's been a hot commodity. They winded up tagging him smart because he's
one of the best linebackers.
He's one of it sucks that he's just riding over there in Carolina. But Jalen Johnson, corner from the Bears, T. Higgins, like we mentioned a few weeks ago, from the Bengals, Michael Pittman Jr., Jacksonville Jaguars linebacker Josh Allen, shout out Jersey Zone. Mm-hmm. They tagged him. He had a franchise record in 2023, 17 and a half sacks. He was tied for the second in the NFL in pressure rate. They needed to tag him because he was going to be a hot commodity in the free agent market. L'Jarius Sneed, like I mentioned, and Antoine Winfield Jr. The guys that weren't tagged, Chris Jones, surprisingly, Saquon, Xavier McKinney and the Giants, Josh Jacobs, Baker Mayfield, and Calvin Ridley, surprisingly enough. Which ones are you the most surprised? Because, I'm not surprised that, the Giants they didn't tag Saquon. I'm not surprised. They didn't tag Xavier McKinney. He's a really good defensive player. I am surprised after, especially all the circus that they had to deal with last year. I'm surprised that the Chiefs didn't tag Chris Jones. And I'm surprised that, because I really thought they were open to trading Ladavius Sneed. And I thought if they were open to that, they would tag Chris Jones. But they ended up tagging Sneed instead of Jones. So apparently they do think maybe they could work something out there. And I'm also surprised Jacksonville, instead of tagging Josh Allen, which I guess they're prioritizing him over Calvin Ridley. But Calvin Ridley is going to be the best wide receiver on the market right now.
Yeah, Calvin really is. Not for nothing. He is.
I mean, I think I think I can name some of them. Obviously, T. Higgins is gone. Michael Evans, Odell, Michael Thomas. You know, everyone got tagged.
Yeah, Dale. If this is my thing, if Kansas City, let's just say they happen to trade Snead, to me, you should have just franchised Chris Jones, because Chris Jones, what he got last year, like 22 million. I think he just got a 1
something
year
like
deal.
that. Yeah,
20 million. I know he got,
but he had a lot of incentives. Yeah,
and he hit every single one.
Yeah,
on
he
a 1 year deal. If I'm Chris Jones, Kansas City, I gotta give me the bag. If not, I'm going to shop. I'm going to shop around. At the end of the day, I got 2 rings. At the end of the day, I'm still one of the best D tackles in football. If y'all don't give me something I like, I'm gonna walk. And if I'm Chris Jones, I might think about walking though. At the end of the day, he has 2 Super Bowl rings, though. What more he has to prove on the field?
Yeah, that's my thing. How about Calvin Ridley? Are you surprised they didn't tag him?
At the end, did he put up the numbers that we expected him to this year? Absolutely not. There was a few games where I'm not gonna say he wasn't a no-show. He just wasn't in the game plan. He just didn't show up on the box score, Dill. So to me, it was a down year for Calvin Ridley. Does his potential still one of the best wide receivers in football? He has the potential to be. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I guess in that system, he wasn't. What was it? Damn, what was my boy who got hurt? Kirk, was it Christian Kirk?
Christian Kirk is in Jacksonville, yeah.
Yeah, he got hurt. Still, Christian Kirk was wide receiver 1 for most of the season, in my opinion. He's the one that was getting most of the targets. Him and Evan Ingram. To me, those are number 1 and number 2 options. Calvin really was, sprinkled in, but to me, he wasn't a major impact. So if I'm Jacksonville, I need him at a discounted rate. If not, bro, shop around, because at the end of the day, you wasn't giving us impactful football when you was in the game, and he simply wasn't. I think he had 2 games over 100 yards. I could do better from a wide receiver 1.
And we don't know about the gambling aspect. Is he still a degenerate? Is he gonna do all this with these?
I think he lost a full season.
Hopefully.
He lost 15 mil.
Last but certainly not least, I did want to make a little comment and, just show the gratitude. RIP Chris Mortensen of ESPN. He was literally the first Schefter, first ESPN reporter, or I guess quote unquote insider, that broke all the news. He was Shefty before Shefty. And oh my God, dealing with throat cancer, which I've read about. It's very extreme, very hurtful, and he's been dealing with it for 7 to 8 years. And listening to people on ESPN, reading what people saying on Twitter and social media, just they're choking up, because he's just a really good guy. He's a good family man, and it's just very sad to see. And growing up and seeing him on NFL Countdown and NFL Live and breaking all the stories, especially the Philly ones, it's sad. A lot of guys that we grew up on are dying, man. I just wanted to give him his flowers and send my condolences. He seemed like a really, really cool guy.
Yeah, this is another one that, kind of, hurts, just because, we grew up with him, our childhoods, like you said, NFL Live, even when he made a few appearances on SportsCenter breaking the news or something went down. It just sucks that some of the great announcers / insiders from our time when we were kids, slowly, going away. So that just sucks. So, just condolence to him and the family. And, in the NFL Network, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. So all our condolences are with him and his family right now, and all of his loved ones. Tough one to go. It was very sad to see Chris Mortensen go. I was watching a bunch of his clips. I was like, dude, I fucking remember coming home and literally watching this. I'm like, God damn, time flies, man. So yeah, just wanted to send my condolences, or our condolences, real quick on that. But before we get into our plays for today, let me tell you guys about our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry on a Saturday morning workout, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with our Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's go to the NBA slate. A little bigger one. We got 8 games on the docket today. No Knicks, unfortunately. Magic moving up to the 4th seed, kid. They're playing some really good basketball. Shout out my man Kurt and his team. They're playing good.
Yeah, the Orlando's playing good ball. Let's start right there. I'm gonna take the Orlando Magic laying 6.5 as of right now on the line -108. They were laying 7 earlier, so people shop around. I had 7 earlier, called them right now 6.5. Still, like you said, they're just playing good ball right now, the 4th seed. But Wizards. Still, I'm gonna have a player prop in this game. Give me Jordan Poole over 17.5 points.
Oh my god.
Still,
he's a bum.
I agree. I don't agree.
You almost said it.
I almost said it. Last few games, the boy been stroking it. That's all I'm saying. Dill. He's been hitting his shots. He had a couple. I think he had 5 threes or something like that against the Lakers. Had another high 20s the other night. Dill. All I'm saying is he's hitting his shots lately. Give me Jordan Poole over 17.5. I don't love it, but I like it, people. Next game, Dill, on the road. Los Angeles Clippers taking on the Houston Rockets, laying 6.5 on the road, over under that 223. Dill, give me the Clippers -6.5 on the road. I know they lost a tough one the other day in Milwaukee. Dill, shout out Dame, had a huge game. That was a nice one. I was watching it. Dill, I think they bounced back. Give me the Clippers -6.5 against Houston. Another road game. Oh well, no, they're at home now. Memphis taking home Philadelphia 76ers laying 5.5 at home. Dill, over under sitting at 212.5. Dill, give me the 5.5. I'm gonna lay with the 76ers at home. To be honest, they played a great game the other day against the Mavericks, and I didn't expect them to win. Dill, they took care of business. Philly looking better as of late. Dill, Joel Embiid will be back soon. He'll be back soon. Those weeks are almost up. I expect him to even take off when he gets back, Dill. Primetime game of tonight, Dill. Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Golden State Warriors, Dill. Give me the Bucks +3.5. I'm not gonna hold you, Dill. Can Steph Curry have a huge game at home, a nice bounce back? Absolutely, Dill. But I just have a feeling, Dame Dollars is playing at a good level. All I'm saying is give credit to Doc River. The defense been looking a little better, Dill. This ain't the bottom 25 defense anymore. Give me the Milwaukee Bucks on the road +3. And then the last game, Dill, Sacramento Kings taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. Hopefully I stay up past my curfew to watch this game, Dill. Future playing game possibly down the road. Dill, the Lakers laying 2.5. I'm gonna lay the 2.5 right with the Lakers. Still, ever since LeBron posted that hourglass, Lakers been winning. They've been playing at a good level. He's even been playing at a higher level. Dill, he's been going over his points total ever since he was reaching and went over that 40K mark. AD being a monster both sides of the ball. Dill, give me the Lakers -2.5, and Dill, I'm gonna go right there. Anthony Davis over 25.5 points at -120. Dill, give credit to Sabonis. I think Sabonis is a fabulous player, but at the end of the day, Anthony Davis, he should take control of this game. I think Anthony Davis should at least give him 30 and 12.
All right. In the morning, I was very hesitant. I really wanted to take the Kings +3.5. I wanted to fade the Lakers today. I'll start there.
So you like the -2.5 then? You like the
I still like the Kings. I like the Kings tonight. I also like De'Aaron Fox over 25.5 points. One guy that has success against the Lakers has been De'Aaron Fox. I just don't think D'Angelo Russell or, excuse me, Austin Reeves can contain him at all. 25.5, yeah, too slow. And I just think De'Aaron Fox is too good. And I feel like 25.5 is a number that's kind of low for him. De'Aaron Fox, he's gone over this in 61% of road games. He's averaging 28 points per game on the road. And he smashed this number against the Lakers, going over in both of the games this season, and 5 of 6 games he's gone over this number in the past 2 years. So I do expect De'Aaron Fox to have a big game. I wanted to take the Magic minus 6.5. I really did. I do lean that way. For my second play, I'll lean the Magic minus 6.5. Give me Steph Curry over 5.5 made threes. I know, big number might scare people off. You're like, Dylan, they just got blown out by 50 by the Celtics on Sunday. Shot 0 for 9.
Dame can't guard him.
Dame can't guard him, and he's going to come back for blood. The past game before that, he shot 7 threes. The game before that against the Knicks, he had 8 threes. So he can get it. He just had a bad night. Boston's arguably the best team in the league right now. I think him and Dame are going to go head-to-head and knock this one out. So I'm going to take Steph Curry over 5.5 threes, De'Aaron Fox over 25.5 points, Orlando minus 6.5. And then my last game, I'm going to take the Clippers in the first half. I'm not going to lay the 6.5. We didn't touch on it, but tough blow. Russell Westbrook broke his hand. But positive news, apparently he will be back for the playoffs if everything goes smoothly and the recovering process goes smoothly. But I'm going to take him in the first half, minus 3.5. They've been better at covering the number in the first half compared to the full game. So I'll cut the number in half. I think the Clippers can lead the Rockets on the road by 4 come the first half. So those are my 4 or 5 plays and props in the NBA. Anything else you wanted to touch on in the association before? Oh, shout out. We didn't touch on it, but shout out LeBron over 40,000 points. I mean, I don't think someone's going to touch that in our lifetime.
I doubt it. Still, I'll lean the minus 13.5 with OKC just because, tough loss the other night against the Lakers, but I'm not gonna advise nobody to lay basically 14 points on the road. But I ain't gonna hold you. I do like it a little bit, Dale. And then to be honest, I understand Cleveland basically got lucky. I'm not gonna say lucky, but it was a good win over the Celtics the other day. I kind of like them as a little bit over Atlanta on the road, but I couldn't go to the window with it as of right now. They're plus 2.5. I do like Cleveland Dill, but I couldn't go to the window.
Yeah, no, I get that. Okay, kid, let's transition to the Diamond. We started off with the AL East, a very good division. Then the AL Central, you had some interesting teams and then some very bad teams. The AL West, though, like I said in the beginning of the show, very top heavy. You got the reigning champs in the Texas Rangers. You got the Houston Astros, who have won in recent history as well. The Seattle Mariners are always a fun team. These past 5-6 years, they've been very competitive. You remember last season, it was a 3-team race within the last week of the season. They were all divided up by a game or a half a game. It was crazy. So, and then you got the 2 bottom teams in the Los Angeles Angels and the Oakland Athletics. Soon to be Los Angeles, or not Los Angeles, Vegas. Las Vegas. Yeah, did you see the $1.5 billion stadium?
I ain't gonna hold it. We gotta go catch a game. It looks good. It looks good.
But they suck.
It don't matter. We go Mets Athletics once a year. We do something like that. Red Sox, something. I like the I don't know if it's the scoreboard or what, but it goes across the whole outfield. That's tough. I ain't gonna hold it. I like.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I mean, $1.5 billion. You could get a lot with that,
especially in Vegas.
Yeah. By the way, Lucas Giolito out for the season for you guys. I am sorry we put the money on the over before the news broke, but I had to come in and put the under. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we still.
That's a tough blow.
It is a tough blow. I'm not gonna lie, it's a tough blow. But to win 81 games, to win 80 games, still, to win 80 games.
Yeah. I mean,
to go 500.
Yeah.
We
Very
have a shot.
Tough though. Yeah, shot definitely. But let's start actually I'd be disrespectful if we didn't start with the reigning defending World Series champs, the
I know
Texas
you don't love saying that.
Rangers.
For the
I
listeners
know.
out there, Dylan did not enjoy saying that.
The reason is because you got two words I'm not going to say in Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom. Not so much Jacob deGrom because he really didn't play, got hurt, but I am happy that they won. It just rubs me the wrong way, but they are defending champs, and I mean, they had a hell of a season. They didn't win the division. They came in second, but they finished 90-72. They went on this incredible run to win the World Series. Their win total this season is at 90.5. They are plus 180 to win the division. I'll start with you, E. How do you like the defending champs' chances to repeat or get back to the promised land?
So to be honest, they have a chance to repeat though. At the end, they still got the firepower in the lineup until, if healthy, definitely a top 10 rotation. Let's just be honest. If healthy, even last year without the grown though, they were probably a top 10 rotation. So at the end, you gotta respect the Texas Rangers. Still, I think they could get this thing rolling. Can they? The question is, can they be the Astros? Can they put this thing together for a few years? They have the roster, Dill. I know they're a little aging, top heavy on the pitching staff, Dill, but they have the roster to do so, Dill. I'm gonna, first of all, I'm gonna go with the over. 88.5 wins, though. They're definitely going over at minus 108. This is a 90 to 95 win ball club all day long, especially if healthy. If healthy all season, they're gonna win at least 95 games. Still, I got a few props with the Rangers. Still, let's start with Corey Seager.
Yeah.
I know you got a few things on him. Still, I'm gonna take a shot. Give me Corey Seager to win the MVP at plus 1,000. At 10-1. I understand the defending champs might leave a sour taste on some people's mouth, but at the end of the day, Corey Seager's consistent. He's still on the field.
He's a beast.
He's a beast still, and at the end of the day, he's gonna put up the numbers to do so, and he's gonna play the games to do so. One of the best players in baseball. Give me a shot. Give me Corey Seager to win the MVP at plus 1,000, and then Adonis Garcia. Over 31.5 home runs still. If healthy, this man's going for 45. I'll be honest. He's going for at least 40 plus if healthy, still. If he plays 130 games, 40.
All right, so I'll piggyback off that. Texas, they still arguably have the best position players in baseball. Unfortunately, Corey Seager, you mentioned Adolis Garcia, Josh Jung, Marcus Semien. You got Wyatt Langford. You got Evan Carter, who's, they're stepping into full-time roles as well. That's a scary lineup. They have a scary lineup top to bottom, and they're going to give pitchers a fit every single night. The concern for Texas revolves around, the depleted starting pitching. Jacob deGrom, he's going to be sidelined until mid-August, maybe even September. Max Scherzer, he's expected back June, July-ish, around maybe the All-Star break. They got Tyler Mahle. They signed a free agent, but he's going to miss several months. He has an injury. So that leaves a starting rotation of Nathan Eovaldi, John Gray, Dane Dunning, and Andrew Heaney.
Nodaldi, 40-1, Cy Young.
They're good. That's a solid rotation. But when you add in Jacob deGrom, who is the best pitcher when healthy, and Mad Max, granted he's a little past his prime, but he's still fucking Max Scherzer, and then Tyler Mahle, I mean, that is a top 10 rotation then. But until then, I think the pitching is what causes concern. I do see a little regression, but I still think over 90.5 wins. You got to take it. A little shot on them, maybe to win the division at plus 180. I think that's kind of a steal as well. And you mentioned Corey Seager. I got him a few months ago. What was the actual day? I'm looking at the bet slip. January 25th, I put this bet in. To lead the league in hits, a hit leader, Corey Seager at 20-1. Corey Seager finished with 156 hits in just 119 games last year, and he owned the 5th best batting average and the 4th best expected batting average in the league. The whole question is, if he can remain healthy this year in 2024, he's going to be a contender, not just for the hits, but for multiple awards. I mean, he's a top 5 player in the league. When healthy, Corey Seager is an amazing player. So 20-1, I took him to win to lead the league in hits. I think that's a very nice, fun little pizza bet for me. So that's it. I do like the Texas Rangers. I don't know if they could repeat. It is extremely hard to
Yeah.
do, especially in baseball, but I do think they are a playoff team, and I think we're going to see how good they really are come after the summer when everyone is healthy. So let's transition to the Houston Astros, a very fun team here. I'll start you. I'll start this one. You'll piggyback off that. I do think this is the Astros division. I know I said it's be fun plus 180, and I know the Rangers are coming off the World Series, but let's not forget they collapsed late in the regular season, the Texas Rangers, to give the division to the Astros for another division. This has been the Astros division for at least the last 6 to 7 years. Outside the COVID year, the Astros have gone over 88 wins in 6 straight years. So it's going to be a little different without Dusty Baker. I think Joe Esparza, he'll be fine with the group. They haven't done much this offseason. It is, I still think they'll be fine, but, they have one of the best lineups in baseball. Defensively, they are sound. I just think they need to improve their bullpen a little bit, which they did. If they do that, I love their bullpen, what they did there as well. They have a nice 7th, 8th, and 9th inning punch. There's no reason this team shouldn't win 90 games or at least stay around that area as well. I got 88.5 wins. They're up to 92.5 right now. So I got them a little earlier in the year, but I still think they could go over it. I still think this is the Astros division to win. So I'm going to take the Astros to win the division at plus 115, and I'm also going to take them to go over their win total.
Still, I couldn't go to the window with the win total just because I got it at 92.5 right now, like you said. I do believe this team is going to be a 90-plus win team. I'm just not going to go to the window. The one thing I did go to the window on is give me the AL West division winner, the Astros at minus 105. The fact that you got plus 115, that was great. Right now they're minus 105 to win the division, and I think really so. I, you can't deny the consistency that Houston Astros been over these past few years. It's just been a consistent monster. So, and at the end, they still got the bats. They still got the pitching staff. They're just deep. They're loaded. Some people say the best team in all of baseball. But give me Astros minus 105 to win the division. Give me Jose Altuve over 22.5 home runs at minus 120. Dude, this is short. Like I understand people, but at the end of the day, 22 and a half. We both know Altuve can at least get 28, 30 people. At least I'm gonna say 28. So I'm gonna call that. I'm gonna go over minus 120. And they'll give me Jordan. Give me him to lead the AL and RBIs at plus 900.
Jordan Alvarez?
Yeah, Jordan Alvarez. Give me him to. I try to say it in Spanish. At plus 900, I give him a shot. At the end of the day, it's gonna be runners on base for him. I'm gonna say majority of the time, and Dill, we know he can rake them in. So at plus 900 to lead the league, it's worth a sprinkle, people.
It is.
To lead the league, AL and RBIs at plus 900, people. I give him a shot.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the third most interesting team in the Seattle Mariners. They finished just 2 games behind to win the division, 88 and 74 last season. Their win total is 86, just 2 down from previous year. To win the division, plus 260. You said you got a lot of bets for this team. What do you got?
I got a few, Dill. Let's start with the over, Dill. Give me over 87.5 wins on minus 108, Dill. I have a feeling the Mariners, they're going to make some noise this year. That's all I'm going to say. I'm confident in this team. I think a couple players are going to take that next step. And I think the Seattle Mariners could possibly be a 90-win team. It's going to be tough in that division. But at the end of the day, I just have a small feeling Seattle can make some noise. Give me the over 87.5 wins. Give me to make the playoffs. It's chalky on minus 164. But I think they get it done. Dill, Julio Rodriguez, sprinkle to win the MVP at plus 1,000. Still, I give them a shot, especially if they get to over 90 wins. I don't know if they'll be able to win the division, but if they win the division, he does his thing. I like him to win the MVP as well. Worth a shot at plus 1,000. Give me his over 31.5 home runs still. He's a young kid. He's still coming to his own. I think this is going to be one of his hey, I'm really here years. They'll give me the over 31.5 home runs at minus 120. I think he has a year somewhere like 42 home runs, 110 RBIs, and bats above 285.
Julio Rodriguez was rated top 10 player in the MLB, especially at his age. I mean,
Still, he's
sky's
young,
the
but
limit for him. They
he
have
might
to
just
build around that guy.
he might just you know what I'm saying.
Take off. Yeah.
I think he has that season still, and
Yeah.
he will lead the Mariners. And like I said, 42 home runs, 110 RBIs, bats over 285.
Yeah, I think this Mariner team, just look at their rotation. Luis Castillo, one of the best pitchers in the league. They got Logan Gilbert, shout out New York, George Kirby, Bryce Miller, Brandon Wu. I mean, they legit I think they have the best starting five rotation when healthy in the division. You know, they have an elite bullpen, quality arms behind there. They have one of the best closers in the league as well. You know, I know they lost Teoscar Hernandez, Jared Kalinick, and Suarez as well, but they did get George Polanco and Mitch Gardner as well. So it makes those losses a little less notable. I agree. I'm on the over 87.5 wins. I like this Mariner team. I think Julio Rodriguez is a top 10 player in the league, and I think he has an amazing year. I think he could win the MVP, especially if they win the division. They have one, like I said, I just named the starting rotation. I think they have one of the best rotations, great bullpen, deep. And, you know, even though they lost some peaches, I like the two guys that they added, Polanco and Mitch Gardner as well. So I got to go 87.5 wins right now. There are 86s out there. So the book I was literally just looking at, I'm about to place the bet because I got it. Yeah, some books are 87. I see 86s out there. So you try to shop around and get the best number you can. But yeah, we're both on the over for the Seattle Mariners. Let's go to the Los Angeles Angels. 73-89 last season. You know, they lose out on Ohtani. We know he was going to leave. They still got Mike Trout. Hopefully he could stay healthy because when he is healthy, he's arguably the best player in baseball. Right now, their win total's at 71.5. To win the division, 45-1. You could tell the gap between the Astros, Rangers, and Mariners
plus
and the Angels
is crazy.
is the Grand Canyon. So when no one's taking them to win the division, are we fading them this season, though?
Dill, I'm fading, Dill. You said it from the get-go. They won 73 games last season with arguably the best player in 100 years in a Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
You telling me they're just going to go, they're going to win the same amount of games without Shohei? Pitching and batting? Dill, Mike Trout could play 162 games. They're not going over. Let's just be real, Dill. Respectfully, do they have a shot? Yes. But I just don't see how you lose one of the best players in baseball and then you're
get better.
Insane or get better.
Yeah.
That just don't make sense to me. So I'm going to go with the under. And then if healthy, give me Mike Trout over 30.5 home runs at minus 113. At the end of the day, people, this is just a faith bet because at the end of the day, is he going to be healthy enough to play? If I'm the Angels, man, let him be at DH. No need to be for you in an outfield anymore. Just bat, do your thing, and just ride out the rest of your career in Los Angeles. Still, I'm trying to keep him happy. Give me Mike Trout over 30.5 home runs if healthy. Hopefully
yeah,
healthy, man. It's better for baseball, honestly.
Yeah, no, honestly, it really is. I'm not an Angel fan, but when Mike Trout can play a full season and he does Mike Trout things, it's best for baseball. It's good for baseball as well. Yeah, the Angels, they haven't landed a significant piece this offseason. They haven't helped mitigate the loss of Shohei Ohtani. And, I think it's the safest bet is for them to finish fourth. You could do that. You could bet the exact placement of where they'll finish, but it's at minus 245. I think that's where they're expected to, because they are just a little better than the Oakland Athletics, which we'll touch on. But, they signed a few relievers, Robert Stevenson, Adam Kingber, Zach Pileski. Their bullpen was bad. I mean, they did bring in some guys. They brought in Aaron Hicks on a 1-year deal, but their win total is 71.5, which is the fifth lowest in the league. but they still managed to go over this number last year, and I feel like it's still a little low. I gotta lean over. Nothing concrete or confident, but I think they could win 73, 75 games. 71.5 is kind of outrageous, I feel like. I
So
feel
I
like
got
this.
72.5. That's nuts.
Okay, see, so there's 71s out there. I feel like I'm saying the wrong odds. But yeah, the 71, 72, I still, like I said, I think they could win 73, 75 games, and they still are a bad team, but I still feel like 70, 71, 72, whatever number you get, I still think it's a little low. So I'll be that guy. I'll take a shot with the Angels. Not confident, which I could definitely see them just tanking and getting 65, 66 wins, but I'll be that guy. Yeah, respectfully. I'll take the over. Why not? Let's go to the MLB's lowest total, and it goes to the Oakland Athletics. 56.5 is what I'm seeing. Last year, they were 50 and 112. 300 to 1 to win the division. This is crazy. I feel like 56.5 is just far too low. I gotta go over. It's difficult to say for certain what team will come out this season, especially around mid-July, around August, around the All-Star break. But they got Alex Wood, they got Ross Stripling, they got him in free agency, so they offer some, I guess, kind of legitimate arms in that rotation. But I do think they'll surprise some teams, and, I actually think they'll go over this total. I think they'll be a little better than last season. It's hard to win just 50 games. So I do think they'll be closer to 60 games this season. Still bad, but I do think they'll be better than last season. And give me a broke out rookie last year, Rista Ruiz, to lead the league in steals at plus 300. The rookie last season, he was on pace to win it. And he was trading minus and plus odds before he did land up on the injured list in July that sidelined him. But, Ruiz, he took a little getting speeded up to get used to. But, he swiped 10 bags across 22 games in August. But by September, he was back to being his normal self. He stole 14 bags over the last 25 games. And Ruiz just finished 6 steals behind Ronald Acuna Jr. with 148 fewer plate appearances. So if he didn't get injured, he probably would have led the league in steals. Kid is fucking fast as hell at plus 300. I'll take a shot. I think he'll be a little healthier this season and be right there with Ronald Acuna Jr. So yeah, give me Ruiz to lead the league in steals at plus 300.
So I like that. I like that. If he stays healthy, I think he'll get it as well, Dill. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm with you, Dill. I think the Athletics go over. Are they a 60-win team? I think so. Still, I think they get it done. At the end of the day, they can't be worse than they were last year. And remember, we saw that little 5-game stretch that went on. They look good now. They look good. So I feel like they could just pull it, few games together at a time. Win 3 there, win 4 there. So it's just I don't see how they can be worse than they were last year. I doubt it. So give me the Athletics to win 60 games last year in Oakland.
It's last year in Oakland. They have to put out. Hopefully, the attendance is a little better. I mean, it's just very sad to see.
Management, you send me tickets, I'll go.
You go, right?
Be crazy. I'll go to Oakland. I ain't going.
It's the Bay Area.
Oakland's the trenches. I'll go though.
You go for a baseball game in the daytime?
Come on now. You don't even have to give me good seats. I'll make my way down.
Exactly.
The 3rd inning.
Exactly. But love to hear it, Elvis. We took care of the American League. Now we will go to the National League come Saturday. But any last words before we get up out of here, kid? It was a good EP.
Hopefully on Saturday's EP, it ain't raining like it is today.
Yeah.
Have a great night. And honestly, people, hopefully I stay past my bedtime and watch, the Sacramento versus the Lakers. Or even the Bucks versus Golden State.
We got some good going on. Yeah, we got some good games this Wednesday. But that is going to do it for this Wednesday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, and myself, we'll see you guys on Saturday. More NBA plays. Like I said, we'll take care of the NL East, my favorite division. Make sure you guys follow along our social media, X and Instagram at The Dream Wage. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We go live every Wednesday and Saturday on YouTube, youtube.com/The Dream Wager. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. Leave us a rating, leave a review, and also comment below who you like this weekend. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we will see you guys down the road. Peace.